10 super effective exercises for bigger legs. Exercise 1. Stand with feet shoulder width apart and the barbell resting on your upper back. Grip the bar slightly wider than shoulder width and keep your elbows pointed slightly downward. Engage your core, keep your chest up, and begin squatting by pushing your hips back and bending your knees simultaneously. Lower your body until your thighs are at least parallel to the ground. Keep your weight on your heels and mid-foot while maintaining a neutral spine. Press through your heels to stand back up, fully extending your hips and knees. Repeat for the desired reps. Control your descent and avoid bouncing at the bottom. Ensure your knees track over your toes and do not cave inward. Keep your core engaged to prevent lower back strain. Start standing with feet hip-width apart, holding dumbbells at your sides or a barbell on your back. Step 1 foot back, lowering your knee toward the ground while keeping your front shin vertical. Maintain an upright posture and engage your core throughout the movement. Lower until your back knee nearly touches the ground, then push through your front heel to return to standing. Alternate legs and repeat. Keep your chest up and avoid leaning forward. Make sure your front knee doesn't extend past your toes to prevent joint strain. Move in a slow and controlled manner to maintain balance and maximize muscle engagement. If you struggle with balance, perform the movement near a support, or start with bodyweight lunges before adding weights. Position yourself under the Smith machine with the barbell resting on your upper back. Step your feet slightly forward so that when you squat, your knees remain aligned with your ankles. Lower yourself into a squat as if sitting into a chair, stopping when your thighs are parallel to the floor. Drive through your heels and mid-foot to return to the starting position, keeping your back straight and core engaged. Maintain an upright torso and avoid excessive forward lean. Keep your knees tracking over your toes and do not lock them at the top of the movement. Use a controlled tempo to maximize muscle activation. If you experience knee discomfort, adjust your foot position or reduce weight. This variation is great for targeting the quads while reducing spinal stress. Sit in the leg press machine and position your feet shoulder width apart on the platform. Keep your back flat against the seat and grip the handles for stability. Unlock the safety levers and slowly lower the platform by bending your knees until they form a 90-degree angle. Press through your heels and extend your legs to push the platform back up without locking your knees. Repeat for the desired reps. Control the movement to avoid excessive stress on the knees. Keep your feet positioned correctly to distribute weight evenly across your legs. Avoid using too much weight, as it can lead to poor form and potential injury. If you want to emphasize glutes and hamstrings, place your feet higher on the platform. Stand with feet shoulder width apart, holding dumbbells at your sides or one dumbbell at chest level. Engage your core and lower into a squat by bending your knees and pushing your hips back. Once you reach the bottom, explosively jump into the air while extending your legs fully. Land softly and immediately lower into the next squat. Maintain a steady rhythm and controlled landings. Keep your knees aligned with your toes and land with soft knees to absorb impact. Use lighter dumbbells until you build explosive strength. Engage your glutes and quads to generate power. Perform on a soft surface to reduce joint stress. Stand in the center of a trap bar with feet hip-width apart. Grip the handles firmly, keeping your chest up and back straight. Engage your core and drive through your heels, extending your hips and knees simultaneously to lift the bar. Keep the movement controlled and avoid jerking. At the top, fully extend your hips while keeping your shoulders back. Lower the bar slowly by pushing your hips back first, then bending your knees. Maintain a neutral spine throughout. Repeat for the desired reps. Avoid rounding your lower back. Keep your core tight and maintain proper posture. Keep the bar close to your body to maximize leverage and avoid excessive strain. Engage your glutes and hamstrings by driving through your heels. Position the barbell on the lower part of your traps, gripping it slightly wider than shoulder width. Step your feet slightly forward, keeping them about hip to shoulder width apart. Engage your core, keep your chest up, and initiate the squat by pushing your hips back while bending your knees. Lower yourself until your thighs are at least parallel to the floor. Drive through your heels to stand back up, fully extending your hips. Keep your movements slow and controlled. Make sure your knees track over your toes and don't cave inward. Keep your torso slightly inclined forward, but avoid excessive leaning. Engage your glutes and hamstrings throughout the movement. If you struggle with depth, work on mobility or slightly widen your stance. Set the bar on your upper back and step into a staggered stance under the Smith machine. Lower into a deep lunge, keeping your chest upright and core engaged. Explosively push off your back leg while driving your knee forward into a sprint-like motion. Land softly, keeping balance, and immediately step back into another lunge. Perform all reps on one leg before switching to the other side. Engage your core for balance and avoid excessive forward lean. Drive through your front foot to maximize power. Perform the movement slowly at first to maintain control, then increase speed once comfortable. If balance is an issue, start with a standard lunge before progressing to the sprint variation.
Never gonna look back.
Position yourself in the hack squat machine with your back flat against the pad. Place your feet wider than shoulder width apart on the platform, with toes pointing slightly outward. Engage your core and lower yourself by bending your knees, keeping them aligned with your toes. Descend until your thighs are parallel or deeper if mobility allows. Press through your heels to push the sled back up without locking your knees. Keep your chest up and avoid rounding your back. Ensure your knees don't collapse inward. Keep them aligned with your feet. Adjust foot positioning to emphasize different muscle groups. If experiencing knee discomfort, slightly widen your stance or reduce weight. Control your reps and avoid using momentum. Stand with feet wider than shoulder width and toes pointing outward. Hold a barbell at chest level, front squat, or let it hang in front of you, deadlift grip. Engage your core, keep your chest up, and lower your body by bending your knees and pushing your hips back. Descend until your thighs are parallel or lower. Press through your heels and return to standing, keeping your movements slow and controlled. Ensure your knees track in line with your toes to avoid strain. Maintain a neutral spine and avoid rounding your lower back. Squeeze your glutes at the top of the movement for maximum activation. If new to sumo squats, start with body weight or a kettlebell before progressing to a barbell.